Prologue. An incomprehensible confession. If you were asked to define the value of your existence in a single sentence, what would you say? On Earth, two vast cultural clusters offer fundamentally opposing answers to this question. Imagine a scene. At a family dinner in California, a son announces he quit his high-paying job to pursue his art dream. He tells his parents, "My career choice is purely about achieving my personal values. It has nothing to do with the family's reputation or your expectations." His parents would likely applaud him, proud that he is being himself. His act is viewed in the West as a manifestation of heroism. But at the exact same moment in Shanghai or Tokyo, if a young person made the same choice using the exact same phrasing, their families might feel extreme bewilderment and offense. In the East, a more appropriate statement would be, "My choice is, first and foremost, a responsibility as the son or daughter of this family. I hope my efforts brings greater honor and stability to our clan." His family would feel comforted and secure. His act is viewed in the East as a manifestation of filial piety and maturity. Why does the same self reflect such drastically different images in different cultural mirrors? This is not just a simple cultural difference. It is the two major choices human civilization has made when solving the most fundamental philosophical question: where exactly does our self reside? Is it the atom indivisible and possessing independent will championed by the West since the Enlightenment? It possesses inalienable rights that precede society and the state. Its value is intrinsic and must be defended through opposition to the collective. Or is it the nodes woven by countless relationships of father and son, ruler and subject, husband and wife in Eastern Confucian ethics? Its value is the sum of its relationships. Its existence must depend on the network to which it belongs. In this episode of The Binary Lens, we delve into this millennia-spanning philosophical clash, the isolated atom vs. the floating willow. This conflict determines not only our laws and our family structures but also our psychological feelings when facing success and failure. We will journey from the seeds of Greek individualism to the Confucian 5 relations, ultimately exploring the freedom, anxiety, happiness, and pain these two definitions of man bring us in our highly globalized world. The Western definition of the self is a grand project spanning two millennia, moving from religious liberation to philosophical construction, ultimately forging the individual as the cornerstone of modern society. The Greek seeds, the political animals and the polis. The first spark of Western individualism can be traced back to ancient Greece. Socrates' emphasis on self-examination, know thyself, elevated the individual's reasoning and moral autonomy to an unprecedented level. While Aristotle defined man as a political animal, zoon politiken, his focus was on the citizen's active participation and contribution in the city-state polis. This early individuality was public and participatory, built upon the foundation of the free citizen. The citizen's identity granted them unique rights and responsibilities, distinguishing them from slaves and foreigners. Religious liberation and the inner atom. In the Middle Ages, individualism gained a new dimension through Christianity. Christian doctrine emphasized a direct relationship between the individual and God. Every soul is unique, possesses free will, and is individually accountable for its actions before God. This vertical God and I relationship psychologically liberated the individual from traditional clan and regional bonds. The Protestant Reformation further reinforced this atomization. Martin Luther advocated priesthood of all believers, directly challenging the Church's intermediary authority. The individual's faith and moral salvation depended entirely on their own inner experience and rational judgment. This established a solid spiritual foundation for secular individualism. man is a moral entity with independent conscience and judgment. The Enlightenment Revolution, social contracts, and inalienable rights. Western individualism finally took shape during the Enlightenment. Philosophers began to explain society using a secular, rational framework. Hobbes and Locke introduced the concepts of the state of nature and natural rights. They argued that before society and the state existed, the individual possessed a series of inalienable rights such as life, liberty, and property. These rights precede society and cannot be taken away. The birth of the state and government was not a divine command but a rational, voluntary signing of a social contract by individuals to protect these rights more effectively. The core logic is clear. The individual is the end, and society and the state are the means. If the state violates the contract, infringing upon the individual's basic rights, the individual has the right to revolt and overthrow it. This philosophy created the Western identity as the defender of rights. They maintain high vigilance and distrust towards any collective authority, constantly drawing boundaries to protect their private sphere. The atomized individual and the birth of rights. Cultural symbols, portraiture, and individual heroism. The evolution of the portrait is the history of Western individualism. From the Renaissance, artists began to capture the individual's unique expression, inner spiritual world, and irreplaceable soul. This act visually separates the atom from the collective, acknowledging its independent existence. In myth and popular culture, Western heroes from Prometheus to modern superheroes are often solitary rebels. They must oppose the system, break tradition, or even sacrifice themselves to realize personal justice and conviction. Their value is defined by their individual achievements. In the Western context, the self is viewed as an independent, solid atom whose value is intrinsic and inviolable. This philosophy elevates freedom to the highest value, encouraging people to first ask, "Who am I? What do I want? Where are my boundaries?" The sum of roles and the weight of responsibility. If Western civilization ultimately forged an atom with defined boundaries, the civilizations in the East defined man as a piece within an unbounded network. In the Eastern worldview, the isolated individual is an illusion. Imagine yourself as a single drop of water. In the West, you are a purified sample sealed in a glass bottle. In the East, you are a drop flowing within a river, merging with and propelled by millions of other drops. Your existence, your movement, and your destiny are inseparable from the whole current of the river. The systematic construction of Confucian ethics. 5 relations and role definitions. The Eastern definition of man starts with the system of Confucian ethics, specifically the 5 relationships. 1. Confucianism emphasizes moral relations between people based on heaven's mandate. Your identity is determined by the relationships you occupy and the duties you must perform within that relationship. The core of Ren benevolence is graded love. Your duty to your father, filial piety, is greater than your duty to a friend. This hierarchy constructs a stable and explicit social framework. Confucianism views society as a giant family, injecting ethical emotions into politics and making family-state integration its core. In this system, the self is likened to a floating willow. Its life depends on the river it floats upon. An individual's actions ripples outwards through the network. The sum of roles and the weight of responsibility in Eastern societies. Face Mianzi is an invisible system more binding than law. Face is external and social, the group's recognition and appraisal of the individual's performance in the network. Maintaining face ensures relational network stability. An individual's failure losing face is often viewed as the failure of the entire family. This defines the Eastern identity as the performer of duty. Their drive is not "what do I want?" But what should I do? This is immense pressure, as one is responsible for the feelings and reputation of everyone connected to them. The Eastern self and the art of inner observation. Since the self is the sum of relationships, Eastern art and philosophy emphasize integration and transcendence. In ink-washing painting, the extensive blank space lubai is essential. The individual brushstroke only gains meaning within the vast blankness, the collective and nature. Taoism and Zen Buddhism sought to liberate the individual from the heavy societal burdens. But this liberation is not a return to the atomized individual. It is a return to the order of the cosmos Tao. This solitude is for better inner observation, aiming for ultimate unity with the cosmic whole Tianren He Yi. This remains a philosophy of fusion, institutional manifestation, lifetime employment and relational politics. This relational philosophy is institutionalized. The former lifelong employment system Shushinkoi alternatively in Japan treated the company as an extension of the family, providing security for loyalty. Quitting was viewed as betraying a relationship. In politics, benevolent governance Renzeng emphasizes the ruler's parental responsibility and care rather than solely a legal mandate. The Eastern self is a floating willow, gaining stability but paying the heavy price of personal freedom and uniqueness. Conflict 1. The paradox of freedom and anxiety. The two philosophies defining the self come with vastly different psychological costs. The Western toll, the tyranny of choice and the lonely atom. Individualism grants supreme freedom but imposes unlimited responsibility. Philosopher Erich Fromm noted that Western society liberated humans from traditional constraints, only to throw them into an endless vortex of choice. This infinite freedom translates into an immense decision burden and the fear of failure. When the atomized individual fails, they cannot attribute the fault to family, society, or fate. They must bear full responsibility. This tyranny of choice fosters profound identity crisis and intense solitude. Sociologist Zygmunt Bauman described modern Western society as liquid modernity, where individuals lack fixed anchors. Their pain often stems from the question, I cannot find my group, I am a failed atom. To cope, Western societies developed massive psychotherapy and self-help industries, trying to repair the fractured atoms through inward exploration. The paradox of freedom and anxiety. The Eastern toll, relational bondage and involutionary pressure. The relational structure provides solid security but imposes a heavy moral and relational burden. The individual's life is rigidly bound by duty and face. It is difficult to make choices that violate group will, leading to the stress of relational bondage. This bondage requires constant repression of true desires to maintain surface harmony Han and Tate Me. In competitive Eastern societies, the individual must compete not only externally but also within the internal relational network to fulfill duties and avoid causing the family to lose face. This leads to involution Niwan and widespread relational fatigue. Their pain often stems from the conviction, I cannot be my true self. This pressure fuels cultural themes of escape, hermitic culture, or the modern phenomenon of tangping lying flat, as forms of resistance against excessive responsibility. The eternal paradox, integration vs escape. This forms the psychological cycle. The West starts with the individual, leads to solitude, yearns for integration seeking community. The East starts with the collective, leads to repression, yearns for escape seeking the self. This opposition represents two distinct solutions to the universal human predicament. Modern workplace and management philosophy. If the psychological anxieties are the invisible costs, then in the visible realm of business and the workplace, this conflict is laid bare. The workplace is the most active battleground where these two philosophies clash. We first examine the contract atom in the Western workplace. Western management philosophy is atomized, viewing the employee-company relationship as a legal contract. Management emphasizes clear key performance indicators (KPIs), individual goals, and high individual incentives. Why? Because employee loyalty is liquid, employees can job hop, breaking only a legal agreement. Companies believe that innovation is driven by compensation and the narrative of individual heroism. Workplace relationships here are often transactional and short-term. Modern workplace and management philosophy. Next, we shift to the relational network in the Eastern workplace. The Eastern philosophy of management is relational, viewing the company as an extension of the family. This is exemplified by the lifelong employment system Confucian. The company provides belongings and life security, and the employee provides absolute loyalty. An employee's departure is seen as betraying a relationship involving complex moral and face issues. Management believes that collective harmony, long-term trust, and cultural integration are core assets. These two logics lead to cross-cultural management failures. Western incentives can cause internal power struggles in Eastern firms. While the Eastern relational model can be viewed in Western firms as suppressing individual creativity, the West manages the individual through contracts. The East manages the collective through harmonious relationships. Conclusion: reconstructing the self, finding the relational anchor. We have completed this philosophical journey on the question of who am I? The Western individual independence model grants us rights, freedom, and creativity. It encourages us to challenge authority and strive for excellence. The Eastern relational dependence model grants us belonging, security, and stable social order. It teaches us humility, restraint, and gratitude. These two models are not mutually exclusive. Human civilization is attempting a grand self-reconstruction. In the digital age, Westerners are seeking the warmth of community and social bonding through online tribes, trying to weave a relational network back into the atomized self. Concurrently, Eastern young people are fighting for the right to be themselves by breaking old patriarchal structures and seeking liberation from excessive relational burdens. The two civilizations are converging towards the core of the other's philosophy. The West is learning the importance of relationships, and the East is learning the value of individual autonomy. In a highly fluid and globalized world, can we learn to retain our atomic selfhood while still enjoying the warmth of the collective? We do not have to rush to label ourselves. The true wisdom, perhaps, lies in becoming a skilled captain who can find a flexible relational anchor, one that can be drawn in or let out between the ocean of rights and the river of responsibility. Where will your self ultimately anchor? Would you choose to be a solitary lighthouse, or a reflective mirror that connects the beams?